The things Taylor Swift has taught us about business, part 2.
Let's go!
Leverage all PR. The way that she was able to make an entire era out of the Kim and Kanye situation, reputation would not exist without all that negative PR, without her having to turn off comments because of the number of snake emojis, without all of that.
Squash.
Leverage all PR, good and bad. Make the most out of what people are saying about you, about your brand, about your product. Make sure you make the most of when your name is being spoken, or when your brand's being spoken, or when your product is being used. The second, and this one is so important, especially for content creators, but across the board, let your product and yourself be loved. The way that we see her comfort with literally tens upon tens of thousands of people every night on tour, loving up on her, the way that she takes it in to just hear 15 minutes of a standing ovation for her.
Excuse me, what?
You don't have to be hard on yourself for wanting to succeed. You don't have to judge yourself for wanting to be loved and wanting to have a big platform and wanting to build your brand and personality in the world, or wanting your product to be used by millions. This is not a bad character trait or flaw. This is your dream. This is your goal. This is what you're going for. So let yourself be loved. Find ways to feel comfortable with being perceived. Find ways to be able to pitch your products to the world, to make your products stand out amongst the rest.
How many years did you want this? How many years did you dream about this? How many times did you say to yourself that if you ever got famous, you would walk up to people in restaurants and introduce yourself if they were trying to take a picture of you? I always used to say when I was a little kid, like, if I ever got to do this, I would make the most of it and I would try to do good things with it.
This is a massive lesson to learn from Taylor. Have high standards. Who are you keeping around yourself? What is the aesthetic of the thing that you're putting out there? Who's doing the branding for your product line? Where are you manufacturing your products? What are you doing that is going to keep your customers coming back to you, trusting you, and making sure that your product is sound and that you have high standards?
If I have a writing session coming up with Ryan Tedder or Imogen Heap or Max Martin, I'm not going to show up and be like, guys, so what do you guys want to write about?
Right.
You know, I'm going to show up with 5 to 10 different ideas and play through all of them and let them pick which ones they want to work on, or we decide together which ones we want to work on. But I want them to always feel like I showed up prepared, I'm pulling my weight.
Keep the standards high. We see this across the board with the people that she collaborates with, the type of community she has around her, the way that she builds her brand, period, the way that her eras are released, the level of thought and methodology that goes into everything. The Taylor Swift universe is my Marvel universe. High standards equals lore.
How do I hint at things? Like, how far is too far in advance? Can I hint at something 3 years in advance? Can I even plan things out that far? I think I'm going to try to do it.
High standards equals such a respectable business by so many. High standards is Post Malone when Howard Stern is trying to come at him and trying to get him to talk shit about Taylor Swift, being like, she's awesome. That's what high standards can do.
It's fucking so cool. It's so cool.
Next up, find your lane and stick to it. You need your core nucleus to be defined. What is that for Taylor Swift? Songwriting.
Writing just kind of happens to me. Like, no matter where I am, 4 a.m. or in the middle of a conversation, I'll just get an idea and I'll have to like record it into my cell phone so that I don't forget it.
Who's heard the story of her stationery and what it says on it?
Taylor Swift, songwriter and feline enthusiast.
Taylor Swift is a songwriter first and foremost, period. That is how she's created this catalog. That's how she knows what she's here to do every day. That's why there's pianos and instruments around her at all times, because she is a songwriter first. From songwriting, she becomes a director. She sells merch. She gets to be an artist and creative in other ways. She gets to be out in the world. She gets to go on tours, but songwriting is that nucleus.
After I record the song and I'm listening to it on my phone and just kind of imagining what it could be, I can't help but have my mind wander to, oh, what would this be like as an award show performance? Or what would this be like as a music video? What would I do if I got to make a music video for this song? And it's really fun to be able to come up with those different components to music.
So when you're thinking of your business, come back to the core. What is your core product line? What are you as a content creator really here to do? What is your superpower? What is the thing that everyone is going to come back to you for? I love to talk. I love to interview. I love to tell people about business. Everybody knows what they're coming to us for. And when we have that level of clarity, it gives us so much more freedom to do so much more and to scale.
Do not let anything stop you from making art. Just make things.
Finally, protect your IP and have strong boundaries. Make sure you're protecting yourself through trademarking, through IP, through copyright, whatever it is that you need to do. Don't leave this behind because you don't think you're good at it. You must protect your assets.
What advice would you give to anyone who wants to become a singer?
Get a good lawyer.
That is what you have to do. You have to protect your asset base. You have to protect, in this case, her lyricism, her songwriting, her music credits. Because if her team does not do that, then everyone takes an inch or a mile and it just does not stop. So we have to protect our IP. We have to protect ourselves in these situations. limitations. We have to have strong boundaries, even with people in our lives.
You probably don't know this, but most of your favorite artists do not own their work. The music industry is, you know?
Do not let people mess with you. So these are some of those lessons from Taylor Swift. If you didn't check out part 1, make sure that you do. And if you want some more, or if you thought of some, comment below.